I've been using the Canon 90D for a couple of months now, and it is a dangerous camera. We're talking 4K, we're talking slow motion and full HD, and it is incredible. Actually, I'm gonna show you right now how to turn this camera into a cinema rigged out weapon of a film camera. Here we go. Yep, that's a potato, so that's all right. Just one more go. That's right. This is how you make this camera into a weapon of a cinema rig. Let's do it. So you've bought yourself a 90D and you get some pretty good handheld shots, but you want to go above and beyond. You want to start rigging this thing out. I hear you, and I have the solution right here in Small Rig. I've ordered some parts which I think make the perfect handheld rigging for the 90D. So let's get into what I chose. So we've got two packages here. We're going to start with the big one, which is the cage. This is the core building unit where you can build it out, but this is what I've gone with, the cage. So we're going to open this up. This is what you get from Small Rig. Somewhere is a knife on this thing. There we go. Open. So this is what you get. Oh, from Small Rig. There is the box. In here is a Small Rig little bag with our cage in it. Very well packed. Small Rig packed things well. Here is the 90D cage. All these items you're about to see are linked below in the description, so you can click on that and take you to their website. You can see all about it. But this cage does work on the 90D, 70D, 80D. You do get in the bag as well a little Allen key. That's if you ever want to take the cage apart, like you got to replace a part or you want to like take off the side piece, which you can, so it's fully modular if you don't like it, but I like it as is, so I don't need that either. Easy days. So this is the cage, one solid piece. You do get another hot shoe holder, but it doesn't actually cover up your current one, so you can still use the top hot shoe and another one, so it is pretty awesome now. Now the cool thing is, if you look right here, there's a little bit that comes off, and that's held on by magnets, which is pretty awesome. And then that's how you lock the screw. So what we're going to do is we're going to assemble this right now onto our 90D. I'm using the little thumb screw that you get with it to tighten down the base plate. Get that in nice and tight. And then you just put it straight back where the magnets are, which I think is really awesome, because then if you ever need to take it off, you've got a little access point. There is another little pin that goes in that stops it from twisting, so your cage won't twist, but there you go. So right now you've got a cage, and this is the building block. So I always recommend a good cage. I've got one from Small Rig from my C200, so it was a no-brainer building it up for my 90D from Small Rig as well. You can still access your battery very easily, SD card very easily. The screen, yes, you're asking, it still flips out. Awesome. The second thing, which I think is super crucial for your cinema build, is a top handle. And not just any top handle. You want to get yourself, the ones I really love and recommend are the NATO handles, and I recommend the ones with rubber grips. I've got it for my C200, and I thought, you know what? Let's get it for the 90D as well. Why not? And that's exactly what I did. Here we go, same thing. Small Rig. Awesome packaging, once again. Don't know what that was. In the bag, you get, which is always labeled very nicely, you get lots of goodies. A little bonus feature, like I said just before, we got Allen keys for everything. Once again, you get an Allen key every time you purchase it. I've got Allen keys right now in my pegboard over here. I've got Allen keys in my Pelican case. I've got them everywhere. So if you ever need a rigging on the fly, you're good to go. So this is the handle I chose. The rubber NATO handle, which I love. It's got really good grip. You want something that's rubber. I don't really like the metal. I've heard of people slipping out of them, like I've said before in my C200 video, which if you want to see that build, you can click on this link right here. Check that out if you want, and you can see my cinema build, and I also talk about why the rubber one's a bit better in there. So what you need now is you got to mount this on top of the handle. So you get a little NATO rail. I got the little one, and then you've also got in here the screws, which we will open up now. You want to attach this on. Now you can get you've got 3 mounting screws on the top here. If you want to put it on the side, you can, but I'm going to put it on the top. Now I like the smaller one just because I don't like the long ones, but you can actually get the next size up and you can have it more centered, but because I chose the smaller one and didn't actually look at the size of that, I'm going to have to put mine slightly to the off-center side. But is that a problem? Not really, but is what it is. So let's get these screws in. I always go super tight on these just because you're picking up the camera with your lenses on here, your weight on here, you don't want it falling off. And then now that's on, this is why we love NATO rails. Look at that, I love that. Now you've got a really good top handles. Top handles are the way to go. Getting low shots, holding it like that. If you've got your screen out the top, you can hold your camera on the low angle. It's also really good practical for carrying your camera. Now, the weight isn't going through the body, it's going all the way around. The cage is taking all the load. It's super awesome. So if you rig this out, like I said, you want to put a follow focus on, you want to attach bigger batteries, bigger lenses, this is the cage you want to build it off. Imagine you're rocking a monitor on this thing. You can build that as well, and you're ready to go. I love it. Now this is my basic recommended cinema build, but you can take it a little bit further, and I have ordered an extra part which I've got over here, which I did open a little bit early because I was excited. Get yourself a side handle. Now this is for the people that want to ball out. So the way you attach this now is you want to rotate your camera very carefully to the side. It's got a cage, so it should be fine. And then you're going to use the little thumb screws and you're going to screw it in here. Little hot tip for you. If you get this side handle, which once again, it's listed below the exact one, I flipped it. I didn't use the standard way it came purely because I found it got in the way of the screen. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want that. I don't want it in the way of my flip out screen and plug in headphones, mics in. I'm here to kid it out. So I actually flipped the handle. So it's a little bit out a bit further, but with the lens on, it's all good. And it distributes the weight quite nicely and it still works a treat. Now, once you've got those screws nice and tight in, what you want to do is you want to look under here. This is a cool thing about small rig. You get an Allen key, and this one is stored in here with magnets, so you're always good. And then there's little holes in the thumb screws that you turn, and you just crank it a bit, nice and tight. And the second one, crank that bad boy. Amazing. And then it's nice and safe there. And look at this. This here is how you want to be handheld. You got points of contact, points of contact, points of contact, so many points of contact. You're ready to rock and roll your handheld. And also, because I've moved the handle slightly forward, screen comes all the way out. This is a good hack. I recommend, they should recommend it. You should actually put it on the other way and then you can flip your LCD out all the way. You can film low angles, flip the screen out. You can film it out top angle, flip the screen out. Whatever. And you can also mount microphones. You get another hot shoe, you get another 1/4-inch threads. Now, once again, if you are thinking about getting a small rig cage or a cage of any, for that matter, check out Small Rig, really do it. Links are in the description, and really this is the way you want to be shooting handheld. You need those points of contacts, you need that sturdy, and this is a great way to start your cinema builds. Start small. It wasn't too expensive. I think this whole kit was $100 all up, which is pretty baller, and that's Australian dollars, mind you. So consider subscribing if you haven't and you want to see some more videos out. My next video will be breaking down the R6, R5, all those stats, and that's coming out as soon as they announce it, which I think is Friday. Friday? Yeah, it's Friday, this Friday, 10 p.m. for me. If you live in the States, that'll be not 10 p.m., but is what it is. It's gonna be awesome, but this is definitely the build I recommend, so please get amongst it, check it out, subscribe, you know what to do, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.